Mariners lose 5-3. No, they didn't. Mariners lose 8-3, fall to 12-11 on the season, and they lose the first of a 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox. Go over the scoring plays. Jorge Polanco homers to right center in the first inning. It's 1-0. That lead doesn't last very long as Rafi Devers hits a sacrifice fly. 1-1 at the end of one. Third inning, Alex Bregman doubles to left to score Cedane Rafaela, and then Alex Bregman doubles to center in the fifth to score Devers and Rafaela. It is 4-1 at the end of 5. Mariners get back into it. J.P. Crawford singles to left to score 2. Ben Williamson and Dylan Moore being those 2, it's 4-3. But in the 7th inning, the big blow. Tristan Casas just destroys a homer off of Trent Thornton. Scores Abreu and Christian Campbell. 7-3. They get one more in the 7th, an infield single with an air by Mastroboni that scores a run. 8-3. Mariners lose. So those new to the channel, I don't know why I keep saying those new to the channel. You've probably been here for a while, but hey, if you've never seen it before, we talk about the negatives first we talk about the positives first in a loss. And then we end with the negatives and we do the opposite for the other ones. There were a couple of positives from this game, not a ton, but some positives. I think the biggest positive that you take from this game is that this loss meant a lot less because you won the last 2 in Toronto. You still have a great chance for a winning homestand. And even if you went 4-5 and you lose the next 2, it's not the end of the world because you won those first 2 series. 4-5 road trips are sustainable. You can, if you mix them in with some 5-4 and 6-3s and you avoid the 3-6, 2-7s, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The goal of this baseball team, in my personal opinion, is to be winning 50 to 54 games at home and winning 40 to 45 on the road. And if you could do that, you can go to the postseason and do some real damage. And even if you come up a little short in those areas, you still got a chance. If you can win 50 games at home and 40 games on the road, you're going to make the postseason. And that's good. Obvious point is obvious. But that should be what you're looking for. And you can do that if you go 4-5 and mix it in with 5-4, 6-3, and avoid those disastrous road trips. They've avoided this disastrous road trip. So sure, it's a daily show, but I think it's worth pointing out that because they won those last 2, because they've won the first 2 series in this games, no matter what happens in this road trip, it's not a disaster. And avoiding a disasters early in the season is important. Positives. Offensively, top of the order was pretty good. Julio gets on twice. Polanco hits the homer and gets on twice. Big Dumper gets on twice. Top of the order did fine. Now, I'll talk about one situation with the top of the order that is worth, it's worth talking about. J.P. Crawford continues to get on base. His OBP is up to 383. Take that. Take that. I wish he was driving the baseball at all. But the on base, the plate skills are there. That's great to see. It's like a second leadoff man. I don't want to see J.P. Crawford move up to the top spot, but I do think that having him as the 9th guy who's getting on base for these top 3, your star bats, it's top 4, really, with the Rosarina, even though he didn't have a very good day, and we'll talk about that in a second. That's good. It's good to see. Ben Williamson with a pinch hit single. I've been nothing but impressed with what he's done in the early portion of the year. Bullpen wise, Eduard Bizardo, it wasn't pretty, but he gets out of it with an inning and a third. And Sarwyn Lao, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Not only did I not know that Sarwyn Lao was on the roster, I didn't know Sarwyn Lao was in the organization. Now, he's a fascinating story. He's a guy who used to be a position player. I think they said on the broadcast he has like 93 appearances total in his career as a pitcher. But the stuff looked good. Really good slider. Command wasn't great, but making his MLB debut and facing some pretty good hitters, I will not lie to you. Of course I'm paying attention. I wouldn't record it if I'm not, except for the Friday game where I couldn't pay attention. But I took a look up and I saw chains and I said, oh, Why is Randy Arozarena pitching? I'm glad it wasn't. Position players pitching isn't fun. You can tell me it used to be kind of an interesting thing. It's not fun anymore. But it did a nice job. A nice job. That run was absolutely not his fault. He did a solid job. I'm curious to see what they'll do going forward because through 37 pitches, you ain't going to be available tomorrow. And you've got Emerson Hancock on the mound. Do you risk playing with a shortened bullpen? It's a little tough, but he looked pretty darn good. And congratulations on your MLB debut, getting 3 strikeouts, an inning and 2/3, saving you from using the high leverage guys. Good job. That sounds so patronizing, but he did a really solid job for someone I didn't know played for the Seattle Mariners. You know who should play for the Seattle Mariners? Simply Seattle. They're that good. They have that much good stuff that they should be playing every day for the Seattle Mariners, but they should also be playing for the Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle Kraken, the Seattle Supersonics, the Seattle Sounders, the Seattle Storm, the Washington Huskies, the Washington State Cougars, I guess. There's some stuff there for them. I always struggle to say nice things about the Cougs. I'm sorry. Ian, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But there's great stuff, and you should use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off of your order. MOLLYWHOP15. A great deal from great people. They're calling me right now to tell me how great of a deal it is. I'm going to hit pause. But MOLLYWOP15, link in the description. Sorry about that. That was my friend Jess calling. Let's do something negative real quick because I just want to get it out of the way. I got some bad health news today. I have cirrhosis of the liver. It is something that developed from a pill that I was taking for the growth in my head. That's not great. It's unfortunately entered the decomposing stage. I am scared. I'm scared. Now, I could live with this for 30 years, but at some point, it's very likely I'll need a transplant. So, those of you who believe in the T's and P's, the thoughts and prayers, or just positive vibes, keep me in them because I do believe that stuff works. Thank you. Okay, the negatives for the Seattle Mariners. Bryce Miller wasn't good. Now, Bryce Miller was hurt by a inconsistent at best umpiring. I try not to bring up the umpires in this because I get so angry when you have the technology to make these guys matter less. But his command wasn't good, and the stuff wasn't great either. And my biggest concern with what I've seen from the Seattle Mariners is these guys just aren't getting deep into games. Now, I heard a stat that Aaron Goldsmith, who I absolutely adore, brought up that the Mariners are like 26th or something like that in quality starts. Quality starts a really flawed statistic. You have to go 6 innings and you have to allow 3 runs or fewer, right? Or 3 runs or less, I guess is the correct term. Okay. 5 innings of 1-run baseball, which they've gotten a lot, is a quality start. It's not ideal that you're only going 5 innings, but you can't say that's not a quality start, right? That's how I feel anyway. Logan Gilbert pitched 4 2/3 innings and gave up 1 run with 7 strikeouts. That's a good start. It doesn't qualify for a quality start because of silly rules, but it's a good start. That being said, the lack of depth or the lack of going deep, of this rotation right now is troubling. Me, Dupree, everyone has mentioned this. The Seattle Mariners rely on their starting pitching to be dominant, or at the very least, very, very good, more than any other baseball team. It is the reason why the Seattle Mariners will or won't be a postseason team. Now, you can talk about the offense, you can talk about the bullpen and all that stuff. But if the Seattle Mariners make the postseason, it'll be because their bullpen, their rotation, I got distracted looking at the box score, was phenomenal. And their offense was about average because they're not going to be a great offense. That's just not going to happen. So the rotation has to carry this team, fairly or not. And what they've gotten right now are good, but not great starts. Let's see these guys go deeper. I want to see more of the 7-inning 2-run stuff. We've seen a couple. We've seen Logan Gilbert go 7 innings and allow 2 runs in his first start, or maybe it was 1 run. We saw Brian Wu. I knew I was going to do it, especially when I have his name right in front of me. We saw Brian Wu go 7 innings and give up 3 runs. That's a very strong outing, even when he didn't have his best stuff. It needs to happen more often. I think Castillo gave him 7 innings in 1 start as well. Gotta start going 6 more consistently. Can't even go 5 today. That's not great. Also on the bullpen side, Trent Thornton, man. I should probably mute my phone. Sorry. A lot of people found out about the news today and have been very kind in sending nice messages, but, I'm trying to talk about the Mariners here. Trent Thornton, you can't throw a slider worse than the one he did. And the one he threw before was terrible, and Tristan Gassis hit it like 800 million miles foul. But it was a horrible pitch. Horrible. Just garbage. And then the next one was just clobbered. Right down the middle, cement mixer. The Mariners are relying on Trent Thornton to be good. And that was a huge situation. You had just gotten the 2-run single on the little dumper into center field from JP Crawford. I don't mean to insult it, but that's what happens. You get back into the game at 4-3. And then Trent Thornton, who's supposed to be one of your best relievers, stunk. They've got to improve this bullpen. I have a few people come in the YouTube comments, and I really appreciate everyone who's watching. I really do. Talking to me about how it's too early. Teams aren't going to make trades. Bull crap. Go get another reliever. Move a prospect for a reliever. You need one anyway. Matt Brash is not the savior. He's going to help. He's going to help this bullpen a lot. Gregory Santos is probably going to be better. Not a savior. You don't need to acquire a savior. You need to acquire something that moves guys into safer, better roles. And by safer, you know what I mean. It's just not good enough right now. They've had good moments. They had a really good moment against the Blue Jays on Saturday and on Sunday. But you watch these guys pitch, and Bizzardo's arm's going to fall off. You're using him almost every day. You've got to improve the bullpen. Got to. If you disagree, so be it, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Offensively, who had bad days? I don't think anyone really had a terrible day. Mastroboni and Rivas didn't provide much. Tough day for Demo. Does draw a walk, but 0 for 3 and didn't look great in those at bats. Solano stunk. He's been really bad. Really bad. Tellez had a toughie, but it's tough to be too mad considering the week he just had. But a reminder that he's a flawed baseball player. Polanco. So Crawford dumps the baseball into center, gets that hit. Julio has a terrific at bat. Plate appearance. Dorks. He walks. I hate when people correct them. He was at bat, so it's an at bat. Shut up. I'm sorry. It bugs me. Anyway, runners on first and second. It's a 1-run game. Polanco gets a 3-1 count. He gets a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. That's not middle, but pretty darn close. And he does nothing with it. He flies out pretty meagerly to left field. Man, you got to take advantage of that. And Jorge Polanco's been great this year with the bat. Great. And he hit the home run. Man, that's a missed opportunity. That was such a bad pitch. 94 miles an hour, middle up. Drive that baseball off that green monster. I'm not asking for perfection, but we're a daily show. We point out stuff like this. We have to. Otherwise, the show would be super boring, and it might be anyway. Man, Polanco, you got to take advantage of that. Oh, and Randy Arozarena had a really tough day. A couple of ugly strikeouts. He's been terrific this year, despite his batting average. The on-base skills and the power and the clutch has been awesome. But today was ugly. Today was a bad day. Thankfully, you still got a chance to win the series. Got a chance to at least salvage one game in these next two. It's not the best, but it's hard to be too angry. This doesn't feel like a game that got away from them or anything. The better team won today. And today that better team was the Boston Red Sox. Here's hoping that the next two and the next 139, the Seattle Mariners are the better team and they win. But today it wasn't that day. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. I so appreciate the support. Today was a tough day for non-baseball reasons, and it's a lot of you will point out, I've had a tough couple of years, a lot of stuff happening. Hope to have some really cool stuff to announce soon, but for now, appreciate the good thoughts and Emerson Hancock tomorrow. Hope you can go deep.